Drones are very useful and expensive pieces of videography equipment. They can be controlled remotely and provide a better view of any area. They're often used in cinematic production to record beautiful bird's-eye view shots. They have many more uses than that, though. Drones are becoming popular with law enforcement as a method of tracking missing persons and runaway fugitives. Whether it's for fun or something more serious, drones often capture shocking footage. Number 5. This footage was recorded in 2017 near Port Lincoln, Australia. This area is popular amongst tourists, surfers, scuba divers, and fishermen. It's unclear why this footage was being collected. It may have been the work of an average person trying to film the beautiful scenery, but either way, the camera operator managed to come across something shocking while in the air. The video begins after the drone has arrived to a location above the single fishing boat, a few yards into the water. Things seem normal at first as the lone boat floats in place. Things take a turn for the worse though when a large shark is spotted in the water, to the right of the boat. Experts later concluded that it was a 15-foot-long great white. It stalks to the boat, circling around it several times as if preparing to attack. The fisherman aboard the vessel takes note and attempts to shoo the massive creature away, but his efforts fail. The shark continues stalking the boat for a short time before finally drawing closer to it. It nearly touches the boat as the fisherman throws out bait to try and tempt away the beast. A long rope or cord used when docking the boat strings out into the water. The shark manages to grab a hold of the rope with its mouth and begins violently pulling on the vessel. Various items go overboard and the fisherman struggles to stay aboard. For a short period, the shark tugs on the rope, almost flipping it over several times before becoming tangled in it. The rope wraps around the shark as it swims and the boat follows its motions. If the boat were to capsize in this situation, not only would its owner be lost at sea, but he would have come face to face with a deadly shark. In a quick motion, the fisherman throws off the end of the rope which was still on deck. In doing so, he was able to stop the shark from dragging his vessel. The shark, as if suddenly uninterested, then swims away with the rope still around him. Thankfully, the fisherman was completely unharmed in this scenario, but was likely very terrified. We can assume that he then sailed back to shore and lovingly appreciated that shore. Number 4. In 2018, a 16-year-old girl was reported missing. A search provided no breakthroughs in locating the girl, and it seemed as though she may never be found. Luckily, that wasn't the case thanks to drone technology. The young girl called police to report that she was with her abductor. She offered a brief description of the location and said that they were in an abandoned industrial estate behind a high fence, but was unable to provide any more specific details. The chances of locating her were slim, but officers came up with the creative idea to use drones. Drones were already part of the force's equipment, though they were rarely used. They assumed that the drone would help them find and locate the girl more quickly and with more ease. Furthermore, if the abductor and girl were hiding somewhere on the property, like behind equipment or structures, the drone would see them anyway from a higher point of view. Officers used a thermal imaging feature on the drone and immediately flew it over the town. Within minutes, officers located an area that matched the description the victim provided. Other officers were sent to the scene to act out and actually hunt and arrest. One officer operating the drone found 2 people detected by thermal heat, and they instructed the others to go to the area. The officers rushed toward the pair and saved the young girl. A man in his 30s was arrested on scene and later charged. The young girl was safely taken home to her parents, who were immensely grateful to the officers. In this case, had the officers not used the drone technology available, they likely would have never found the young girl or her captor. Number 3. In February of 2019, a deaf student suffering from mental illness ran away from the school he was attending, the California School for the Deaf. The troubled young man was considered to be in danger and a search party immediately began. Unfortunately, it was very dark out and the conditions of a rough terrain forced searchers to stop. Instead of completely calling the search off or offering no further assistance, officers took advantage of new equipment to try and locate the boy. A drone equipped with a thermal sensor took to the skies. Officers located the drone remotely over a wooded area and open fields. On the ground, some friends of the young man were also searching, ready to take action if the drone located him. Additional officers also stayed on the ground close to the other teens in case their assistance was needed. The drone detected a heat signature in a group of bushes thanks to the missing boy's body heat. The drone hovered over the area and the boy's friends ran to the scene, assuming the drone was being used to direct them to him. When they arrived at the spot, they found their friend huddled in the bushes, hiding and afraid. They used flashlights on their phone to grab the attention of the present officers and direct them to their location. Officers arrived, and the boy was taken to a safe place and given the help he needed. A video was released by law enforcement which showed a comparison of a regular drone camera versus a camera equipped with a thermal sensor. In the normal footage, all that can be seen is a pitch-black space with the occasional flicker of light. In the thermal footage, parts of the terrain become more clear, and you can actually see a signature of the boy hiding. Number 2. In 2017, 20-year-old Zachary Kingsbury was stopped by Surf City police while on the shores of open water. Officers allegedly found contraband of some kind in Zachary's car. In the blink of an eye, he decided to run from authorities. A foot chase followed as officers pursued the man evading arrest. Zachary ran along the shore for some time, but eventually he got the idea to jump into the ocean. It's hard to say what exactly was going through his mind when he decided to do this. Perhaps he assumed officers would not follow him into the open water because of their gear, and it would have been a good plan, except for the fact that sharks were lurking in the water. The video, filmed by a police drone, captures the fugitive swimming into the great wide ocean. Clips of this footage have been shared and re-uploaded countless times since it was released to the public. Some footage may make it appear as though Zachary was swimming well into the water away from his arrest, but that was certainly not the case. Just as he swam into the deeper end of the sea, he was accompanied by an unexpected visitor. A few feet to his right, a massive shark was casually swimming through the water. At some points, the shark drew closer to Zachary, who was likely unaware of its presence. According to experts, nothing happened to suggest that the shark intended to harm the man, but he did notice Zachary swimming on his turf, and officials aimed to avoid the tragedy. What started as a police chase quickly turned into a rescue mission. At around 7:45 p.m., Zachary was exhausted from swimming as fast and as hard as he could, and officers were then able to implement a rescue plan that Zachary complied with. Zachary, once back on shore, was checked out by emergency personnel. After he was given a clean bill of health, he was arrested and booked. Zachary may not have been successful in his attempt to flee from the law, but he was very lucky to not have been attacked by the massive creature swimming near him. Number 1. Dementia is a heartbreaking disease that alters the once healthy minds of elderly men and women. A person living with dementia may behave in strange ways, such as acting like a child, exhibiting violent behavior, or simply getting lost. Dementia sufferers frequently get lost by wandering away from their homes or falling behind their loved ones while in a public setting. In some cases, the missing people are never found or returned home. Anyone with an elderly relative or friend knows the emotional strain and fear that losing track of them could cause. New technology is being tested and implemented every day to assist in locating missing elderly people. In 2018, an elderly woman was at home with her relatives when she somehow managed to get outside and wander off. The woman may have had a destination in mind, although it's unlikely. Either way, her family frantically searched the streets for her. After they had no luck in locating her, they reported her missing. The weather outside was cold and brutal, meaning the woman was even more at risk as she faced the harsh conditions, not dressed for the occasion. Dog handlers, officers on foot, and police helicopters were dispatched in the general area of the woman. And on top of that, a police drone was sent into the skies that was being remotely operated by specially trained officers back at the precinct. This drone also came with a thermal imaging feature, which would be a huge help in finding the woman even after darkness set in. Within an hour, the drone spotted a small heat signature on the ground, in a bushy and wooded area a few blocks from the woman's home. Officers on the ground were instructed to quickly report to the woman's location. She was found in a state of exhaustion thanks to all of the walking during the afternoon. Additionally, she was in pain due to the cold weather and her lack of appropriate clothing. She was taken to the hospital for general tests and observation. Her family thanked the doctors for their hard work and even mentioned their gratitude in relation to their use of the drone. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to click that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to keep updated with our videos. And if you enjoyed this narration, maybe consider checking out my personal channel at youtube.com/ty_knots.